I'm already starting like I always do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Side Seat Podcast. Once again, I know it catches you guys off guard, but it's okay. We are coming to you live, well, maybe not so live when you get this, but we are coming here July 9th. It is the date from Legends Corner, 3008 7th Avenue in Rock Island. It's a very nice little setup they got here, and we're excited to be here. So,
I think this used to be a garage.
It might have been. So, just know, thanks for having us, Legends. Just know they got the Tiki Bar in the back, which is where we're recording from. It's actually really nice. They got some bags over there and whatnot. So
it's a Tiki garage.
They are available for parties, outside seating if you want to come eat some stuff. Their menu looks good. And starting on July 17th, Legends Corner, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they'll start serving breakfast. So who doesn't love breakfast food? I think we talked about gravy and sausages and biscuits.
Bloody Marys.
Yeah, Bloody Marys one time. So chorizo. Yeah, there we go.
Chorizo con huevos.
Also, this is pretty cool. October 2nd on a Friday, former NFL QB, local Augie alumni, Kenny Anderson will be in town. So make sure you guys come check that out. That's October 2nd. And
he'll be signing autographs.
They'll be signing autographs, and they will have more than 20 draft beers on tap. It's a great place. Seriously, come check it out. Jay, the reason I got Jumbo was because Jake got this enormous looking burger, and it looks fantastic. Bacon burger with all the fixings. So make sure you guys come check out Legends Corner, 3008 7th Avenue, right here in Rock Island. So, before we move on, I do want to pay the bills because we got some new things to talk about, guys. Mm-hmm. We are now, aside from the pool man, Mark Reedy, for all your above and below in-ground pool needs, you make sure you get a hold of Mark Reedy for installation and service, 309-292-8486. Make sure you get a hold of the pool man. Next Level Fitness has just been announced as our new sponsor, which we have something lined up for that, which we'll get into a little bit later. But Next Level Fitness, 3102 29th Street in Moline, man. Reach your next level with dedication, motivation, friendship, and fun. 309-797-4810. I'm excited to do business with them. The guy, should we say that? Or should we kind of mention about Albert
Myers, he's the owner of Next Level Fitness, and he's also the former lead guitar player from Amazon Blonde.
Yeah. So,
I remember Amazon Blonde.
So that'll be really exciting to kind of get to talk to him. So also another new sponsor, brand new. I'm really excited about these next two because I know we've been working on Ragged Records for quite a while. So thanks to Bob Harrington for that one. The new and used record store right off the bridge, right off of the Arsenal Bridge. It's 418 East
418.
418, excuse me, East 2nd Avenue Street. Damn, see, I'm so excited. It's a public school.
Public school?
Right in Davenport, Iowa, Pride of Rock Island. 563-324-3579. Make sure you guys go check out Ragged Records. They have Facebook. They have all that good stuff. Very awesome. They host record store days.
If you thought Amoeba Records in L.A. was the stuff, you haven't been to Ragged Records.
There you go.
I love their concert t-shirts hanging up.
Yes, there's some nice Rush ones, Van Halen ones, awesome ones. And finally, as you've been seeing, we've been posting on the page, on the Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders
Oh, you got
page.
it right. Yay.
We look at our shirt.
I did. That's why I did it. Anyways, we are thrilled to have a brand new partnership with the Rock Island Brewing Company, aka Ribco. Ribco Bar and Grill. They're a local staple around here. They are bringing the best, some of the best music. They have. I'm excited to try their Ribco burger tomorrow.
Right.
We're going to be down there for the Melvins, and July 24th, which is just was announced on Monday. Jack Russell's Great White will be in town, so we. Actually, with our new partnership, we have some tickets to give away, so make sure you're checking out the Facebooks, sharing, and all that good stuff, because you never know when we're going to give them away. It is July 24th. But make sure you guys check out Ribco, 1815 2nd Avenue, Rock Island, 309-793-4060. Check them out on Facebook. Do all that stuff. We're always going to be putting up the links. We're really excited on this new partnership with them. So thanks to all the new sponsors. Thanks to all our former sponsors. But we are good to go for this Side Seat podcast. with that being said, Ribco and Ragged Records are teaming up for Turntable Tuesdays, 8 to close. Half off of all the drafts that they got, which they got a lot, and $3.50 burger baskets. So make sure you guys go down there. The Turntable Tuesdays sounds like it's really interesting. Nez, you got a little bit?
You bring your vinyl, you sign up on a time where you want to get on, and you can spend 20 minutes of your own vinyl down there. They have 2 turntables going and a mixer going.
Do
So
they
you
have a
can,
microphone?
I don't think you do. I think it's somebody else announcing your spins.
That is also Wednesday. Wednesdays, they do have Cobra Kai karaoke with Cobra Tucker, aka Cody Tucker. He just took over last night. I heard he had a good turnout. So Ribco's got a lot of great things coming up, and we're super excited to get this
I
going.
mean,
So,
what's better? Great beer, that monster burger I'm gonna
Yeah.
try tomorrow,
yeah,
and music. I
all
mean,
kinds of music. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't get any better.
exactly. So
Chocolate chip cookies are pretty good.
also, we will be working on a little project here. We are going to get out to the QC British Auto Club car show on Saturday, August 1st. We'll be there probably about noon. We might be there a little bit earlier to check things out for ourselves. But you want to kind of tell us a little bit about it there?
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Quad City British Auto Club is sponsoring the Heartland British Auto Fest on August 1st down in Levy and LeClaire. It's a beautiful site for a car show. You're overlooking the river, and it's just awesome. The river boats are going by, and the pleasure boats are going by, and we have a good. Our DJ specializes in British invasion music. That's what he does, and that's what hopefully he's going to do. I told him I gave him a list of artists
Yeah.
to pull from. And
Okay.
so that's what he's going to be playing all afternoon.
Yep.
And you'll see all kinds of British sports cars and sedans, MGs, Sunbeams,
And a
Triumphs,
lot of them you said were under or 1980 and older.
Most of them are 1980 and older. We will have newer Jaguars that people
Oh, okay.
pull in with newer roadster Jaguars and sedan Jaguars. But that's the new stuff. Everything that's MG, of course, Triumph, they haven't made those since the early 80s. MG was last made in 1980, so that's we have everything older than that.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to getting a chance to work with you guys on that. So thanks for inviting us out.
Thanks.
Once again, Jerry Nesbitt,
Yes,
president of the British Auto Club, the Quad City British Auto Club.
And that
El
would be,
Presidente.
this is El Presidente, this is the Nez. We just got Nez Jr. here. So. By the way, I am your host, Victor Martinez Jr. Alongside joining me is Mr. Eric Nesbitt, aka Nez for short. Another awesome Jake Quake, the pride of Barstow, is joining us while he eats his bacon burger that looks so delicious. And also the new guy, Matt Wilkins, which he's late, so we'll see when he gets in. No, he's already here. He's
He's on a BWERU.
yes, he's on a nice little run for us. So, and tonight's, we also have our tech guy here. He's kind of just lingering in the background. I think he's working his magic on what he wants to do for the next show. So, Jeff Hyman, there's 2 of you anyway. So, Jay Cubed, he is our sound guy. He's our producer, our awesome mixer, all that good stuff. So, make sure you guys give that. Well, you need to put your logo on the videos now.
Yeah.
So.
And we want you to put your name as far as like
Yes.
engineering.
We'd also like
we
your
want
bust
creds.
size if we could have.
Yes, your bust size, your length, if you know what I mean. So, but anyways, so let's get to it.
Caucasian.
We are joined also with this week's special guest, Bobby Thornton.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Yes, man, and I know Nez, you're also on the page. You interact a lot, and Nez you've known him for a long time. Right?
Well, I just know of him.
You know of him.
It's Matt and Bobby that know each other.
I've known Bob 20, how many years? 20 at least. 20. Well,
Centuries.
more than that, 'cause we graduated together, so we've been friends since we were freshmen.
25 years, 26
Yeah,
years.
25
There you
years.
go. Awesome. So, thanks for coming out, man. And
bet.
I've heard a lot of
Back when
good
it wasn't
things.
cool to be a headbanger at Rocky.
There you go. So, let's get this show
You know
started.
you know what this reunion is missing? Right in the middle, right there.
Jason Slaw.
Jason Slaw.
Oh,
Jason.
I've known Jason Slaw since kindergarten. He lived in my neighborhood. So.
You know about Jason Slaw? My senior skip day, he was a freshman, I believe. he skipped with us, a bunch of seniors, and little Jason at the time when he was little.
Yeah,
skipped
now,
with us.
now he's a brick wall.
There you go. Awesome. So let's,
I'm like, ooh.
all right, we got plenty of time for that good stuff. So let's jump right into the news. Nez, I know you're not too happy about this one, which when we start off with stuff like this, you get pretty, ugh. But Mad Season's got their new album coming out with Chris Cornell.
Yeah, and Duff McKagan on bass.
Yes.
And I just think that when you have your lead singer that died and your bass player has died, I just think that this is done in bad taste. I just do. I really do. Because Chris Cornell, like we talked about this on the last one, Chris Cornell to come in and sing Lane Staley stuff doesn't work. Lane Staley coming to sing Chris Cornell stuff doesn't work. It's a big cash grab to use the moniker Mad Season, that mythical album, that one album that came out, and they're trying to do a cash grab. Does Barrett Martin, does he need the money? I can't think of the guitar player's name.
Yeah,
Mike McCready. Yeah, obviously he doesn't need the money. So what's the motivation on this?
I guess it could be kind of maybe like is it an anniversary? Is it a tribute?
No, I
nothing?
don't think so. It's one of those things. If you want, like we've talked about before, if you want to do this, that's fine. And if you want to do it as a tribute to Lane or something like that, that's fine. But you don't call it Mad Season. You call it, something else, Happy Season or Open Season or whatever we said last time.
Yeah, a
You know?
tribute to Mad Season
Yeah.
or something. Or something,
Yeah, but it's a tribute to Mad Season or something like that. Or you get a bunch of people together, like people have done, like when Ronnie James Dio passed away. And they got a bunch of people together and made that kick-ass album covering Ronnie James Dio songs. Do something like that. It's a tribute to these guys who passed away. Don't put another album out.
I don't want to
Call it
take
Mad Season.
anything away from any of the musicians that have that signed up for this thing, but you guys know that is my favorite album of all time, and it's like almost like that album is almost like kind of like mythological. It's so regarded, and you're trying to come back 20 years later and try to catch lightning in a bottle again. It's not gonna work.
I think they're going to be pretty surprised when it's not received well.
Yeah, and it's not going to be received well.
Unless by guys like us. I mean, there's going to be those stupid idiots that don't know what Mad Season is. They're going to hear it on the whatever the hell the top 40 radio stations are these days, and they're going to hear it. They're going to be like, "Oh, that's great." It's going to be like when they started playing Metallica videos, and all the kids at Rocky started wearing Metallica shirts tucked in.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Tucked
It's going
in.
to be the same thing.
Yes.
Right.
And I think it kind of bridges into maybe people are going to be like, oh, what is this? Apparently it had another incarnation, so let me dig into it and see what it is. It might even drive up the old Mad Season album, the sales up for that one,
You know, that it may do. I think they tried to push every penny they could already out of the album. They did a triple disc of the release when they re-released it.
Oh, the one that you have.
Yeah, it's a trial.
Collector's.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they've already done that. They've already tried to squeeze every ounce. They milked it for everything. And I think now, I don't know, like, knowing how much it means to Nez, this album, it's completely wrong.
Well-
and seeing it, and I love Duff McKagan. I think everything he does is great.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a
That
Guns
would be
N' Roses
like
nuts
that would
square,
be like
but-
if you hired
But-
if you got the dude from Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Weiland, and you put out another Mother Love Bone album. It'd be the same kind of thing.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
I mean,
you can't
like-
do it. That's why because basically Pearl Jam was Mother Love Bone
Yeah.
with a few other members different. I mean, they
Without
could have come back
Andrew
out and call it Mother Love Bone.
And speaking on that, I don't know if you Bob, you might know this. You ever heard of band Blacklist Union? Mm-hmm. Okay, the lead singer from that band was in a tribute to Andrew Wood called Malfunction.
Right,
And-
Malfunction.
yeah, and he sang for those guys. And Andrew Wood's
Well, Malfunction
brother,
was the original name
Kevin
of
Wood.
Mother Love Bone.
It's Kevin Wood.
Yeah, and he was in the band. They never released an album. They never did anything. They just toured as that, and it was all just a tribute to Andrew Wood. You know what I mean? So like, if they're gonna do it like that, you name it something different. You do some tours. I mean, even then, and like it's a tribute. Even like on the flyers, it said a tribute to to Andrew Wood and stuff like that. This is just. There's no mention of a tribute. There's no mention of
Because they're obviously not doing it as a tribute. They're doing
Right.
it as
It's a cash
like
grab.
Ness,
Yeah,
like
it
Ness
was-
said, it's a cash grab. They
Yeah.
want people to say, they want the nostalgia of the name. And the guys that are our age, or mine and Nez's age, you two are pups, but but they want the guys that remembered that album and jammed out to that album back in the day to come back to the new shit.
So it probably will not be Mad Season featuring Chris Cornell.
It's just gonna be
It'll
called Mad
probably
Season.
And that's even more.
That's a more criminal. And
So-
here's the thing: is like Chris Cornell's voice, because Mad Season was jazz fusion. There was a lot of jazz fusion in that album. They're going to use Chris Cornell's voice in a jazz fusion. That's not.
I have a feeling it's not going to be jazz fusion. That's the thing. I think it's not going to sound like
That was the
Season.
premise of the album.
Yeah.
It was a rock jazz fusion album. That's what was so cool about it.
And I honestly, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to sound like Mad Season at all. Music-wise, either. I mean, Duff, and this isn't me nut swinging here. Duff is a really good bass player.
Sorry.
No, he can play pretty much. I mean, him and Adler used to practice the Coltrane and stuff.
But that's what pisses me off, because that Duff McKagan thinks he's got to be in everything.
Yeah.
But my God, I was on guitar sessions. He's playing bass for Jane's Addiction.
Yep.
What the hell? Chris Cornell, that guy's in everything.
And
Like,
the
it's
funny thing is,
old.
McKagan and McCready have a side project called Walking Papers. So that's probably how that formed with Mad Season.
Well, let's just say it'll be an interesting. I'm sure one of us will pick it up, if not all of us. So we'll look forward to that. I will pick it up for the sake of just listening. So,
Waste your money.
Quake, you said Phil Rudd 8 months. Bobby
arrest.
used house arrest, corrected.
Little house arrest, 8 months.
Yeah, he did some dirty deeds. Got caught busting, trying to hire a hitman.
Like I said before when we started talking about this, who hasn't tried to hire a hitman?
You know,
Really, honestly.
he just got caught.
Who was he trying to kill?
I mean,
People he works with in his
Okay,
side
if I was gonna
business.
say if it was his ex-wife, I can see that.
Victor's the only one that hasn't been married.
Yeah.
but I still, about this time last year, I still tried to hire a hitman last year. Well, anyways,
Get
but
Phil Rudd to do it.
but anyways, yeah.
Right?
No, nobody gets that privilege except me. When it comes to me. But anyways,
You gonna hire yourself?
the Corey Taylor, yes,
Give yourself $20?
exactly off myself. The Corey Taylor hating on Kanye West. That was pretty fun. You guys catch that little viral
Oh, yeah.
video going around?
Yes.
It was really simple to the point. A couple weeks ago at the Glastonbury Festival, Kanye West got on stage and said, he's something along the lines, don't quote me, but along the lines of, I am the greatest living rock star ever, period.
Rock stars play music, though.
There you go. Rock stars play music. Corey Taylor came out, called him out, and said, "You are not the greatest living rock star ever. You shouldn't be saying that." I think he compared it to the guys that talk about all the pussy they get, but they don't actually get it. So that was pretty. And then he did a little wrist slap motion. So I thought that was pretty fun.
Corey Taylor doesn't usually speak out very much at all, unless if it's about like Slipknot or Stone Sour and stuff. So
Yeah.
hearing him coming out, everybody here hates Kanye. I hate that dude with a fiery passion.
Who? I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, he's married to one of the Kardashians. He's a Miss Kardashian. You know,
Conway
You know what though? Hold on. I will say this. I'm gonna pull a Greg Thompson here and say I love the Spurs album.
what was that,
Everything
like,
after that was
Dropout or whatever.
College Dropout. Yeah. Actually, the second album was even
The
pretty
song
good
he did
too.
with Daft Punk wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, that was on the third or fourth.
Stronger or whatever?
Yeah.
See, my problem with him is he thinks he's the shit.
Yeah, now it's on this full blown like narcissism, and it's crazy. So,
You know,
So-
I mean, and he named his freaking kid North.
yeah, Northwest.
Northwest, man.
Can we forward past this one? This
We
is-
could. I thought it
Can't we all
was.
just agree to say fuck Kanye West
Yes.
Fuck
and
Kanye
his
West.
big head ass?
And
and
the reason I bring this up is because our brand new partner Ribco will be bringing in Corey Taylor. Tickets are sold out. So if you got a ticket to that show next Tuesday, the 14th, it's the Corey Taylor acoustic spoken word book reading discussion. It's going to be cool.
Will there be a Kanye West discussion at that?
I'm sure somebody will bring it up.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be out there. Hey Corey, what about Kanye?
Yeah, hey, maybe that's a perfect impression of me. 'Cause
I-
I'll probably ask it.
I think that's kind of
So-
cool, being
so-
a fan of Mr. Stone Sour. Be able to sit there and hang out with him, talk with him like that. It's kind of like what
Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins does.
Exactly.
Henry Rollins'
So,
spoken word is
a
step
spoken
above.
word. It's
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And he's a genius. He's really smart too, like actual smart.
I got to
he's a
write for a
genius
story
and he's
about
really
that.
smart too.
So make sure,
Yes.
and like I said, that's Ribco bringing them in.
This is blood
So
white, man.
July 24th, make sure you guys pay attention to our page because, like I said, we have tickets to give away to Jack Russell's Great White at Ribco on July 24th. So It's a cool partnership, and we're so grateful to have them and thankful. So hopefully you guys get on that and learn some earn the tickets. Excuse me, earn the tickets. So
Well, we just got some news that our guest Bobby Thornton has got to leave at 8:20. So when we do our album reviews, we need to get Bobby to
hey,
go first.
you know what? Know what? Let's jump right into
Wow.
it because I'm ready if you guys are.
Somebody's already rock starring us.
So, Bobby,
I
man.
mean, I got something that came
No,
up.
it's so completely understandable. So why don't we start out with you? We do our pick of the week, so you have a pick of the week for us.
Absolutely. Babylon AD, released September 1989.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's get that up a little bit.
Very good album.
All right.
The reason I picked this album is probably it's definitely in my top 5.
Sure.
It's got to be one of the best rock albums I ever heard in that era. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with the Babylon AD record. I mean, every song there's a ball kicker, man. Just,
Well, back then, I mean, we all kind of listened to the same shit back then. We all, because we hung out and we would, back those days, I mean, we would listen to this shit, a lot of this kind of stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of that style of music at the time, but we still all listened to it.
there's a lot of bands that I thought, man, like Danzig, a lot of bands back in the day, I wouldn't even give the time of day because I was so stuck on
Yeah.
certain bands. But then I got a little older and I started, widening my horizons. I'm like, man, why did I not listen to this 15 years ago? This
And
stuff
see, that's
great,
kind of
man.
it's kind of the flip side for me because I was listening to Danzig and all of that stuff back then, and the Misfits and the, all that kind of thing. And then now that I'm a little older, I start going back and listening to these albums. I'm like, oh gosh, these are awesome. This is awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
I
That's,
really think that would have been a lot bigger if it came out 2 or 3 years earlier.
it actually had somewhat commercial success. I mean, it was a halfway, it did all right. I think it debuted at 88. I mean, 89, if you're in the top 100 on Billboard, you were doing pretty good. It was getting that late in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
you were doing pretty good. They've recently reunited.
Oh.
They've been playing the last few years. I got to know.
Aren't they coming to that Skullfest thing you
They
posted?
were there last year.
Yeah, I don't think they're coming for this coming.
I actually got to know the guys real well. Me and Rob Reed keep pretty good contact with each other ever since that show. He's done some things for me. I sent him an old poster. I've had it for about 20 years. It's one of the original posters from Babylon AD. I just sent it out to California, out in the Bay Area. And I just got word he sent it back today. The whole band signed it. So I'm looking forward to getting that thing.
That's
It's
awesome.
very sweet. So
That's awesome, man.
Well, the thing I liked about the Babylon AD album, it came out a little bit late during the hair time. It was like they were still trying to grasp a hold of what was left, and it was aggressive. It wasn't poppy at all. It was in-your-face rock and roll, and I think if they would have had that album came out 2 years earlier, maybe things would have been a little bit different for them.
if they would have got out, and Simon Hanhart, he was the guy that produced the album. He did stuff like Killer Dwarf, Sax, and he was a big British producer.
nice.
So he did it. He did a ton of that stuff. He did David Bowie, Bryan Adams. I mean, he's got this guy that produced that album.
Well, there was somebody when you put this up against L.A. Guns, somebody made a very good point about how this album was not like other albums in this genre of music at the time. It wasn't like the hair band stuff that we were so used to.
No, I don't believe it was. I mean, they had a similar look to them. I mean, if that's what a lot of people consider, the look was always the thing. It really overshadowed the musicianship a lot of times in that era because we know that those bands, all those bands from that era were great musicians. Every band had a great guitar player, killer drummer. I mean, they were all great. And, they never got enough credit for all the great singers the bands had.
Right.
I mean, some of those guys can sing these people now under the table to this day. I mean, I truly believe that. And some of the best musicians came from that era.
The thing though, like I said before, was what made them different than all the other bands from that era was that their music was so much more so edgy and it was so in your face. It was not glammed out at all. It was not poppy. It was very aggressive.
They didn't do that 1-2 lead off single, heavy, second single, a home sweet home type of thing.
And everything just had a great hook.
Right.
And you had Sam Kinison on Kid Goes Wild. I mean, who couldn't love that?
Well, the cool thing about that was The Kid Goes Wild. That was on the soundtrack to RoboCop 2,
Right.
which was very cool.
And they made a big comparison of that because it was kind of like the whole You Could Be Mine thing with the Guns N' Roses
Yeah.
thing. They had, Terminator was targeting Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Well, then you had, the video was kind of you had the whole RoboCop targeting Babylon AD.
Yeah.
That
So
is
it's kinda
sweet,
neat.
yeah. So,
But, yeah.
I mean, what are some of the tracks that hooked you into the
Oh,
sound?
man. Hammer Swings
I
Down
was
has got to
just-
be the.
I was just
that's-
looking at that.
You know, that song
just
is
looking
just
at that.
this killer. But I mean, Caught Up in the Crossfire. I mean, they're all real good hooks. I mean, you know, Sally Dance. That's kind of a bluesy piano play, song on there. It's a real bluesy tune. I mean, I really dig that one. The whole album from beginning to end, you can't go wrong. It's just great.
And everybody kind of remembers Babylon 80 for Bang Go the Bells, but there's
Right.
so much more than that.
You know, and I noticed that with a lot of bands, the singles they put out are never the best song on the record.
hell no.
Ever.
Although that's a killer song, though.
Great song. No, I'm not taking nothing away from the song.
That was the thing at the time, because all of these bands were so stuck to their record labels. The record label, the A&R guy says, okay, well, we're going to put out this song, even though these other songs are off the hook bangers. And then you hear this and you're like, oh, that's a good song, but what it is he saw these big hair blonde bimbos shaking their ass to it. And that's what they thought that everybody wanted to hear.
You know, a lot of songs like that end up like being like fan favorites off the record, are always that story like that song should never made the record. It wasn't supposed to make it. The record label didn't want it on there, but we put it on there anyway, type of thing. And I always think that the musicians and the fans know better than the record labels, because record labels don't know shit.
But don't you guys feel like, though, with Babylon AD, it was one of those things where they came out 2 years too late?
Oh, yeah.
But
100%.
if they came out now, they would be looked at like a band like Rival Sons.
Yep.
Something like that, very aggressive,
Yep.
guitar-heavy music, very in-your-face type of metal, So that's how
They're back out tour, man. So if you guys get a chance, go see them. I mean, they're
Hopefully they'll come to Ribcage
all
or
original
something like
members.
that.
I mean, all original.
And see, that's so rare too, because we talked about
Yep.
this a couple weeks ago, or last week or something like that, where I was kind of, riffing on bands like where you see like one guy in the band like Kansas or something like that, where one guy's 80 years old and the rest of the guys are 20.
Yeah.
Isn't
Isn't that kind of like what Styx is now, too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Styx,
I'm sorry.
I have a
Without
hard
Dennis,
time with
without
that.
Dennis DeYoung, you can't have Styx.
If you want to see
Exactly.
Styx, go see Dennis DeYoung. I'm sorry.
I'm going to bypass that. I'm going to pretend like...
Dude,
it was-
shut
Oh,
up.
yeah, come on.
Name, the best songs from Styx were Dennis DeYoung songs.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's,
The only other one that was worth a damn was Renegade.
Yeah, it's a great.
I'm just going to bypass all that.
One more quick fact about
Sure,
the record,
yeah.
though. Desperate, the song Desperate on the ballad was also recorded by Baton Rouge on their Lights Out in the Playground album. The second
Oh,
record.
really?
It's on there. Yep, the same song.
Yes.
so who wrote the song originally?
I think Babylon AD wrote the song. I'm pretty sure of that, but I
it
did.
wasn't one of those things like.
I think Matthew Wilkins wrote it.
Is that one of the
Where's
things
your
where-
royalty checks, man?
Yeah, right.
Was that one of the things where the record label said you get this song?
Yeah, and I
Or-
believe, I'm not sure, but I think they were both on the same label. Or maybe
really?
been in the studio at the one time. I don't know exactly how it happened.
You want to know a crazy little fact? When Motley Crue got back together and did that Red, White, and Crew, that song they released, If I Die Tomorrow, was written by Bob Rock for Simple Plan. And Simple Plan rejected the song, and then Motley Crue took it and made it Motley Crue song.
And it's kind of odd for Motley to record something that Nikki Sixx did, right?
Right, I mean,
yeah, it's very rare.
he must have been in
If dollar signs
Yeah.
are in the eyes and in the ears.
he must have been in a heroin days or something.
Well,
like
that song he wrote for Meatloaf, Monsters Loose, you ever hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Well, he wrote that song for Saliva too.
Oh,
that
that's
was really
some
good.
shit.
You got a beer in your fly in your beer.
Yeah, you got to fly this beer.
But yeah, man, great album. I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorites. I mean,
awesome.
when you threw up that LA Guns thing, I was like, son of a...
Well, you know what? Just to get off subject, when I do the album battles, I purposely try to put things that like provoke people's interests.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew
And
that
then
you're a
people
LA
get-
Guns diehard,
people
but
get
I
their
also
ass
know that you
chapped.
love. Yeah. Then I know that you love that album, the Babylon AD debut album.
Or should I
So
say
that-
they get their ass crispy?
I would almost say that I like this album maybe a little bit better. It's better from beginning to end than the first LA Guns record.
Well, the funny thing was,
But
I
LA
almost
Guns
picked
is
LA
like,
Guns.
I love LA Guns, man. So,
I
it's
see
tough.
personally, I picked LA Guns. That's just me, but
Yeah,
like
that's-
It's a great album. That's another
Yeah.
one of them raw records, man, that just...
But the thing is, here's another thing is like, your favorite album doesn't necessarily have to be from your favorite band.
Right.
oh no, yeah, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah,
That's
for
how I feel. I don't know if that.
And I was kind of torn there. I'm like, oh, it's killing me. But,
I don't know if the Metal Canuck or the did you
Jesse
think
Benison?
does he listen to this at all? Do you know?
I think he
believe
does. Yeah.
So let's give him a little plug because he was all about some Babylon AD.
Oh, I love it.
And he was just naming off songs. He's definitely an 80s metalhead, so I figure we'll give him a plug while we're
Another
talking
band
about
that
it.
got overlooked that came out around the same time they were real good was Sweet FA, man. They were a great band out of Indiana. Remember those Sweet FA?
I remember the band. I can't tell you.
Had an
the
album
song.
called Stick to Your Guns and Temptation. I mean, look them up, man. They're
Oh
great.
yeah, I will.
Well, the funny thing about it was, before I decided to do the Babylon 80 versus LA Guns, I was thinking the Babylon 80 debut album versus the Shark Island debut album. Because that Shark Island debut album is killer.
It's great, but it'd have been easier for me to pick Babylon 8. But it is a great album.
That's pretty awesome. Well, really quick, so we got you for like about a couple more minutes. Let's can we ask about your musicianship? You know, you're in a band, and,
Yes, sir.
and you used to be in, what was it,
Resurrection Mary.
I was in Resurrection Mary when I was 16 years old.
16, partying hard in the
Long time ago, yeah. I seen
My first show at Uncle Roscoe's was seeing Bobby play with
yeah,
Resurrection
I remember that.
Really?
Got up on stage and was headbanging with
Yeah.
him, man. It was great.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
We, I was in, I don't remember what record store it was, probably McKay Music at the time, man, because that was like the big,
Yeah.
big music store around here. I just seen a flyer, Resurrection Mary looking for a lead singer. Call this number. Well, I called it. Well, Mitch. You know, everybody knows Mitch. That was Mitch answering the phone. I gave him a call, and I got the gig, and I was probably in the band for about 6 months. And, and I think we were both. I still was. Our musical directions were a lot different, so I think that's kind of what made everybody go their own ways, which was probably for the better anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, then they formed Flowers of Fear.
Flowers of Fear, yeah. Shortly after that, they changed the name, and
And then Dr. Mongo toured with, we played with Flowers of Fear, but basically every time we ever played. So
yeah, but they were all a good group of guys, and they kept busy back then. They played a lot of shows.
So what do you do now as far as you
I am the
still perform?
yeah, I'm the lead singer of Crossroads. We just had our 27-year anniversary. I've been in the band for 12 years. They've been around since 1988.
All right.
They do a little bit of everything. We do rock, metal. We can play Johnny Cash, and we'll turn around and play Megadeth. I mean, we got a big variety, a big wide range of stuff.
Good stuff. I seen him.
And then I also do an acoustic thing called the Marvels with Scott Whitehall. We do quite a bit. We play out in mine
still
a
need
couple
to get out
times.
and get you guys.
We're tomorrow night, man, but I know you got the Melvin show, so.
Yeah, man.
Melvins are gonna
That
kill us
always
tomorrow
fucking
night, man.
happens. That always happens.
It always happens at the Melvins.
Hell, we might just say screw it, unplug and just come down to Ribco
There
tomorrow,
you
man.
go,
No one
man.
shows up.
There you
Yeah.
go. And then maybe you could just plug in there downtown afterwards.
Absolutely.
Well, Bobby, man, thank you. I know things happen and
Yeah.
forces are at work that are beyond our
No, I appreciate
control,
you guys
but-
having me, man. I'm sorry I have to cut out early.
No, hey, you know what?
Is it possible we can get you on a future podcast so we can get you for the whole time?
Absolutely, man. I would love to be here. I'm sorry that I got to go.
No, we're sorry we kind of started late.
I
man.
would like to say on my personal note, I was so hella stoked when I found out that you were coming on. Because back in the day, like I said, it wasn't necessarily the most fashionable thing to be a headbanger when we were being headbangers. And Bobby and I were the two guys when we were, especially when we got to be juniors and seniors.
Right.
We were the two guys that were kind of the guys at the time.
Yeah.
Everybody else kind of, not to toot our own horn or to try to be cooler than everybody else or whatever, but we were the guys. I mean, if we wore like a certain shirt or whatever, then the next week everybody else is wearing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of a shirt, I remember you giving me shit for my Trickster shirt. You remember
I
that?
fucking hated Trickster.
I don't care. I love it. Steve Brown's a great guitar player,
I
man.
hated that band.
You know what? I don't care. I like
But
it.
the thing of it is, I hated them at the time, but I'm sure if I listened to them now, I'd be like, oh, these guys are really
They are
They're
good,
hooky.
man.
They're
Their
really,
last
you know.
couple records they put out are pretty heavy and they're real good, man. And
We were opposite ends of the metal spectrum, but we were definitely.
But you're still.
But yeah, and Bobby and I were great friends, and we would always, anytime we'd see each other, we were always really, and so it was really cool knowing, kind of doing that whole thing, going back to those days.
You know, the crazy thing about this is that since we've started doing this, and we had Greg Thompson on, we have now you on, and as we're getting older, we're starting to appreciate all
Yes.
rock music. You know what I mean? It's stuff that we used to make fun of when we were younger. It was like, shit, that wasn't that bad.
like I was telling him, I wouldn't give certain things a time or day, and now I can't stop listening to some, but I love
Yeah.
it. You just get that thing. You get the few bands that you like, man, and that's all it's like your favorite beer. You won't try another different
Well,
beer.
it's like
drink
when you
that
and
same
it's
beer.
like when you and Jason showed up at my 40th birthday party, and we played the hell out of hair metal tunes on the jukebox, and just sat there. I got pictures of us
Oh, yeah.
drunken 10 Indians just all singing our fucking heads off to these hair metal songs.
Drunken Indians on Aquanet?
What?
Drinking Aquanet? This is what Indians drink, don't they? Drink whatever.
Wow, I don't know.
Oh,
Let's
here we
get
go.
race to start with.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get into
with race.
the
Let's get
FCC.
Indianist.
Well, look out for a sensitive apology by Nez later this week. I'm sorry I was
I
so
watched the 2020
insensitive.
on the Indian reservation. About
You know
they
who
drink
else?
nacho.
You know who else drank Aquanet? Michael Dukakis' wife. She showed it. She showed it. You know who else did? Ricky Rocky did, man.
Ricky Rocket,
I'm just
man.
kidding. It's soaked into his head.
Hey, let's just chill out before we get into some Quaalude discussion. So.
If you guys are out and about on Saturday, man, I'm at Rascals, so
All right, cool, man.
playing at Crossroads, yeah.
All right, so Saturday at Rascals, and be on the lookout for Crossroads.
Busy weekend for us rockers.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have a good time, man. So, Bobby, man, thank you for joining us as
bet, brother.
Mitch gets mid podcast.
We're doing a selfie.
So no, that's not a selfie because it's a Jakey. That's what it is. So, so again, man, thanks a lot, man.
No,
Thanks for
thank
coming out.
you.
We'll
Love you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me,
We'll
guys.
have you
I
on
appreciate it.
soon.
Let's
We'll
try
have
to
you
get
on
this
soon.
done soon.
I will, man. I'm sorry I had to take
No,
off, but you
no,
guys
man.
appreciate
It's
for
all
having
right.
me, man.
Thanks for bringing that in.
Hey,
I'm sure
at least you
people
did your homework. These guys don't do
Hey,
their
hey,
homework.
hold on a second. We know. We got it.
I don't have a printer at home. Hey, Bobby, it's nice seeing you, man.
Take care, bud. Take care.
Hey, tell him to sit back down.
Oh, you're good, brother.
Bob, you gotta sit back down real fast.
That's it.
Somebody else take the damn picture.
Sorry, I had some Michael J. Fox action.
Back for a
going on.
picture, man. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Take it
Well,
and send it to me.
while we're in the middle of that, let me just take the time to plug again, pay the bills. Poolman Mark Reedy, make sure you get a hold of him. We're gonna put all the info and stuff on the Facebook, so make sure you check out Ribco, Ragged Records, Next Level Fitness. Make sure you guys are checking that stuff out on Facebook. We'll get the stuff up on the video later. J Cube's gonna be at it. I know he's gonna work hard for us. So again, so Bobby Thornton, that was awesome. Well, hold on.
Calm down, brother. Hard part.
Hard part. Oh, it's not hard.
Okay, of
It's
course.
okay.
Of course I'll work hard for you.
Awesome, awesome. So
He works hard.
he does. So, anyways, Bobby Thornton, nice guy.
I love that.
Can't wait to get him back on. So, but Nez, I don't need to do homework because this album's pretty great. I mean, it's pretty simple because it's the follow I picked this week, and hopefully you have an appreciation for this one because I know you like that soul stuff. Lauryn Hill's MTV Unplugged 2.0 album, which seemed to be a lot of hit or miss with people, but was pretty successful from the get-go. And then when it had some time to be exposed, people were like, "Nah, whatever." Fact was, it reached number 2 on the Billboard 200, number 1 on the rap, hip hop, R&B, whatever, because there's so many Billboard charts. It even went platinum like a week or 2 or 3 weeks after it was released. So I mean, people were out there listening to it. 400,000 plus copies, quick. And then the critics came in, but you know, who cares? Screw the critics.
If they ever been right.
Exactly. Personally, to me, this is one of my favorite ones to pop in and just listen to the straight thing because it's full of nothing but emotion. It was a different take on if you guys had heard the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, the first album, the one after she left the Fugees. That was very neo soul type, pretty deep hip hop and stuff like that. But this one was, I like the quote that she used because she called herself a hip hop folk artist, which would kind of go along with this album because it was her and an acoustic guitar in front of a bunch of people telling stories. She gets into things like religion, her marriage, and then her kids and all that stuff. So a lot of it was just, from what she was feeling inside. Of course, Jake, we love that kind of stuff. The lyrics, everything that she was dealing with in that album was projected to our hearing receptors here. So my favorite track off of that is I Gotta Find Peace of Mind, because she just wails on her acoustic, sits there, you can tell the passion, and even at the end of the song she starts crying on the last verse. It's really powerful to just listen to an artist like that, coming off of the heels of a huge album. That one 4 times platinum. You know, Miseducation, 4 times platinum. Everybody was buying it. Everybody loved it.
She was crying because she was going to prison for tax evasion. That's
That
why she was
wasn't at the
crying.
time. That was more recent. This is like back in like '98, man. So
Maybe she was a fortune teller.
It's funny,
maybe.
like,
Who knows?
She's like, what's the Miss Cleo?
Ah, there you go.
you
Because
know,
of the dreads.
Wow, you're feeling racist.
Hey, you're the one that was thinking it.
No, the connection is her. She was with one of the Marleys.
Yeah. Not
Tito Marley?
one. Yeah. Michael Marley.
Jermaine?
It was Rowan Marley.
Jermaine or
Rowan Marley.
Janet Marley.
was it Huey Marley?
Yeah, there you go. So,
Rowan Marley played football for the University of Miami.
really.
Yep. Linebacker.
But that's my. It's just
smoking, man.
it's a solid. It's a solid listen for me all the time. I mean, probably one of my favorites of all time. I like a lot of live discs and stuff. So
I am not a huge fan of live music. I never.
are you really?
Ironically enough, one of the biggest moments in my life was a live album. We talked about this, Live After Death by Iron Maiden. I don't like live music. I don't like live albums. I think they're cash grabs. I think when you do a live album, it's because you aren't good enough to write another album. Personally.
It's a filler for the
It is.
contract.
It is a filler. It's like, I got you for 5 albums. Okay, well, we're gonna put out we're gonna play all the same shit. Only we're gonna play it live and record it. I think it's disingenuous, and I don't like it. That being said, people like Lauryn Hill and those type of singers do it well.
yeah.
When you hear it, it's not crap. Okay, I've got the Metallica live shit Binge and Purge. It was purchased for me, and it's crap. If you listen to Metallica live, unless you're there in the feeling, it's crap.
Right.
You know, and so to do a live album, and now to have the balls to try to come out with another live album, is ludicrous. Again, that being said, not Ludacris, the rap artist, but that being said, you get back into this thing with Lauryn Hill, whom I think is one of the most beautiful soul singers of our generation. I put her up with Erykah Badu or Adele or any of these other soul singers, quote unquote, of our time. She's really good. I almost said the A word. She's doing very well for herself. So, Nez, do you have to take a shit? You got
No.
this look on your face the whole time.
I'm doing this because that way I can focus in on the discussion and not the discussion behind my head.
Roger that.
Here we go, another Rolling Smoke episode again. But you're right, man, and I guess I never really thought about it that way with the live albums. But they're like you get hits like this, like more than misses. Well, no, you probably get a lot of misses more than hits.
A lot of misses
But
with
this
the live
one
records.
was definitely a hit. Some original material. Well, most of the songs were all written by her, anyways. I think like 2 were like one was a Bob Marley cover, one was a church song. So I mean, to me, this is it. But,
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times with these type of singers, you get something that you're not expecting.
yeah.
You know, you'll get something, you'll hear them, okay, of course she's going to sing, you know, so she'll do, maybe she'll do Killing Me Softly. God, I hope, fingers crossed. But then you'll get something like you said, a Bob Marley cover
Yeah.
or something, a sacred cover of a hymn or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So-
Which is, I think it's cool.
But here's where I come in disagreement, and this is not necessarily towards the unplugged thing. Is I'm trying to focus because I can't. I have ADHD, and I listen. If I got other people talking, I start listening to the other conversation, and now I have sirens.
Yes, part 2 outside.
So
With sirens.
let me just get into my. Probably some of the most notable albums ever have been live albums. Frampton Comes Alive,
Yep.
Kiss Alive.
Trash.
No, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. The UFO Strangers in the Night.
That's a great record.
And I'm not a UFO fan. And Thin Lizzy, what's the
Live and Dangerous.
Live and Dangerous.
The best live album of all
Yeah.
time.
Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East, or Judas Priest Alive.
Scorpions, Tokyo Tapes.
Tokyo Tapes, Worldwide Live by the Scorpions.
Come on, Cheap Trick, Live at Budokan.
I was getting there.
And you know what? The funny thing about that one is, you don't want to. With the
They
Cheap
weren't
Trick,
actually in Budokan?
No.
No.
The Cheap Trick record,
They were in Osaka.
you don't want to hear the studio versions of those songs.
No, they suck.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear any of their hits, it's from that record. It's not
This
from,
is just my opinion.
Oh, I know.
But I don't like, and I'm not going to get all crispy and take my toys and go home.
Yeah.
Or or say, you know, oh, here we go again with Metallica and Megadeth jokes. And then, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to say is I don't personally like live albums, generally, as a general rule of thumb. There are good ones out there. The Unplugged that Nirvana did was pretty good.
Yeah. And even then, there wasn't any like really hits on that because they threw everybody off.
No, that last song on that record,
One.
Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yeah.
The best Nirvana song. Period.
But you know
Even though it's a cover, but
the most criminal thing is that there is no more MTV Unplugged in the United States. They do some European MTV Unplugged stuff. You know, the Scorpions did something like 2 years ago or whatever. But I mean, you want to talk about a great concept that should have never died is the MTV Unplugged series. I mean,
even
Well, the problem is decent live bands
yeah.
have died.
yes, you're right.
And that's the problem. I mean, who's going to want to go see a Avenged Sevenfold acoustic set? Or who's going to want to go see a, I don't know, Fallout Boy playing?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to see him live.
Yeah, I
I
don't
love
wanna
my
see
daughter,
that.
so I went. But you know, I mean, really, ring the bell. I mean, that stuff's it's so. There's nobody these days. The only people that are going to put out good live albums are the old bands that are still doing it. Throw
Yes,
shit
I
around.
agree.
Anyways, so. All right, well, hey, opinion noted. But again, that was my pick of the week, man. So, Quake, man, I think you're done with your burger over there. So
yeah, I am.
You
That
ready?
was
You ready to
freaking
bring
delicious
yours?
too.
I know you're ready to talk yours.
Oh yeah, why the hell not?
It's on your body. It's everything. It's everything.
Mine is the lead singer from Buckcherry. He put out a solo disc back in 2004 called "You Made Me." There's a cool story that goes along with this though. So after Buckcherry broke up in 2001, the lead singer actually had to go back to work. He was working as a carpenter in LA, like doing sets, like for TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he's going through the paper one day and he answered an ad for a band looking for a singer. So he said he went to their practice space and hung out outside. He was attracted to it because it was like everything different than he's ever done. Like the influence were like Deftones and At the Drive and stuff like that. So he just sat outside, listened to him for about an hour and a half. He said he decided that they have chops, so he walked in, and the lead guitar player from the band just was like, "Holy shit, you're Josh Todd!" And he kind of gave him that look like, "I'm just here to hang out and like play and stuff." You know. So they played for, I think they said like right around 3 hours. That whole time just jammed together. And they wrote 2 songs that day, and they both are actually on the record. So I mean,
Just during this jam session.
yeah, just during that jam session, they wrote 2 songs right then and there. Came with everything, like complete songs, done. They're all really younger than him. They're all like 18, 19, 20, 21 in that age. Never been in a band before, like touring band or anything like that. They were known as Shots Fired first, but then they went shopping for labels. Record companies doing what they do best, screwing everything up. They said you have to go buy the Josh Todd moniker so people knew what the hell they were buying. And which was honestly stupid because it sounds nothing like anything that he ever did before. Because anything he did before was just straight up like Buckcherry was really close to Guns N' Roses.
Like radio, pop, friendly rock.
Yeah, Nez is giving me that look. But no, they really were. Like, their first record was dangerous, it was edgy, it was something different. I know you're dangerous. And it was, 2 guitar players, it was lead guitar solos, it was all that. And this was no guitar solos, drop D tuning, evil, angry, screaming. It was nothing like anything he ever did before. And it came out in 2004, is right when I was, 2003, right when I was graduating from high school, so it had a really big influence on me. And that's why I used to listen to every day, driving back and forth to school. And he played at Banana Joe's when that was still around. I don't know if you were even here when that was. So you know where the farmer market's at? Right next to John Dowell Stadium?
Yeah.
That little freight house?
Yeah, the Freight House.
That was
Banana
where
Joe's and it turned into QC Live.
QC Live, yeah.
I've heard of QC.
Okay.
Too. I heard Guar was there once.
Yep. Used to do Pickstock. Slayer played there.
Yeah, it's 8
Well, no, they did Pickstock in a different city, but all the Pickstock bands would come down and play QC Live like the next
I
night.
think the last pig stock was actually right outside of John Donlin.
Yeah.
Down there, so.
Yep.
So that was it.
But yeah, I got to see him there. I got to meet him, hang out with him, and stuff like that. It was really cool. I'm still friends with all the like other guitar players, or like everybody else in the band on Facebook anyway. You know, I still talk to them and stuff. But no, it's a really heavy record. Like I said, way different than anything he's ever done before or will do. But right after that, so he toured on that record. Then they broke up because they were broke. They ran out of money. They couldn't afford to rent a van to go on tour anymore.
I wonder why they were broke. I wonder why. Why did bands go broke? I don't know.
They bought too many Bibles.
Yeah, like Striper. They threw too many away.
I threw mine away.
But so
How bad was that?
the band disbands. Josh Todd goes back to work doing stuff. Then ends up playing this tribute to Randy. I can't pronounce his last name. I fuck up every time.
Castillo?
There you go. The drummer from Ozzy. And during that, it was a quick. Everybody was just hanging out in like the back. So and Josh and Keith, the guitar player from Buckcherry, show up. And there's Slash, Duff, Matt from Guns N' Roses.
Was Chris Cornell there?
No.
Ooh, good
I-
call. He's in everything else.
Yeah,
right?
I was wondering. I wonder if he ever tried out for Velvet Revolver.
They
But
probably did. They probably did.
but anyway, so they get up on stage, they do their thing, and that was their first incarnation of Velvet Revolver. Was with Josh and Keith from Buckcherry, and Keith actually got a writing credit on a couple songs off of
Really?
Velvet Revolver. Yeah, a song called "Dirty Little Thing." But
Well, that's one I didn't know because
yeah, see,
I mean, obviously, a lot of people went in
Yeah.
knowledge.
and
They
then
went through the revolving door.
yeah, and then so and once that disbanded, they kicked Keith out, and they got the dude from Reagan's Youth. They started Buckcherry again, and then they got big all of a sudden with that Crazy Bitch song. Bastard.
Holy shit! Did you see the Crazy Bitch wedding video?
Oh, I don't even want to fucking talk. That's the.
I'm posting it on the podcast page tonight.
All right, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna post it again when this goes live.
I just could never get into Buckcherry. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get it. And when Jake was young and I was his gym teacher, he
I
used
used
to
to-
talk to me about it. I was like, I just don't get it. I don't get
Was
it.
he like, hey, Mr. Nesbitt, listen to these guys.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty much,
yeah, pretty much. That's
These
what it
guys
was.
are great.
I just couldn't.
They're
And I've never really could get into it. Even that whole when they did the whole Josh Todd did that whole Saints of Los Angeles thing with Motley Crue.
Yeah.
and I just
You know, his voice is definitely an acquired taste. It's kind of like some people hate Guns N' Roses because of Axl's voice. They just can't stand it. Josh has that very distinctive
Or
voice. A Rush. When you hear the voice, you know
I
exactly
hate
what it
Rush.
is.
Their voice. I like the music.
You know,
His voice sucks.
and that's what it is. And as soon as you hear it, you know exactly what the hell you're listening to. And it turns you off right away. Bam.
I've seen Josh Todd killed in at least 2 television shows.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he was killed on Sons of Anarchy, I think, and he was killed on some other show.
He was in like, what was the name of that movie? Salted Sea. You ever seen
Yeah, if you
that?
can't think of it, that's a reason for that.
Yeah, all that movie is terrible.
Ring the
And
bell, it sucks.
you guys ever seen the movie The New Guy?
yeah.
Nope.
He was in that.
I'm
He
new.
was?
Yeah, he's one who goes Tiger Paw, and he gets nailed in the nuts. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
don't you? Yeah, Tiger Paw. Yeah,
Doesn't he wear the hairnet in that too? He's in the jail, right?
yeah, but he didn't wear a helmet. He goes, no, don't you mean Tiger Paw? And then they gut him.
well, I mean, the guy's got two first names.
Yeah.
Couldn't you think of a better last name? to give
Well,
himself?
his real last name is Gruber.
I
Gruber.
would have changed it too.
Well, I mean, Todd, of all the things.
I think that's his middle
Listen,
name.
I think we can come to the conclusion that
Maybe he was related distantly to Mary Todd Lincoln.
the reason Nez doesn't get it is because he is not a crazy bitch, so he doesn't get it.
He is a crazy bitch.
Oh, that's a crazy bitch.
You know,
Crazy bitch.
I, you know,
So good he's on top of it.
that whole thing pissed me off too because I used to go see him for $5, you know, because nobody knew who the hell they were.
Yeah.
And
I
then
wonder
Crazy-
how they went out of money.
yeah.
You gotta have a lot of dudes for $5 to get some cocaine.
And then you know,
$5 ain't getting you no cocaine. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, they supposedly when he was cleaned up, he did like an interview that he's all clean. He's cleaned up. He's not doing drugs anymore. And they played Rock in the District, and my brother-in-law was down there, and a couple of the business establishments down there that sponsor it put him up in a hotel, put him downtown in a hotel room, and people up there trying to get talk to him, and he's asking everybody if they had any drugs on him or not. I was like, hey, you're a clean guy.
Go.
Sounds
You're a
like
clean
some
guy.
people we know, Jeffrey.
Sounds like Scott Weiland.
Except he does them on stage, literally.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. Josh Todd, I mean, very, very interesting pick.
Yeah, maybe you should check it out. Give it a shot.
Maybe he changed his last name.
I'm not going to base anything off of
Maybe he
Nesbitt.
changed his last name to Nesbitt.
I'll listen to pretty
Josh
much everything you guys
Nesbitt.
bring up.
Josh Nesbitt. Yeah, maybe we should have one of the Josh Todd songs, the opening of this podcast now.
I think
No,
we'll do it.
Yeah.
that's a little bit gay.
Well, let's see. What can you bring to the table? And what we can use?
I would much rather hear my pick of the week is the Social Distortion album, Social Distortion.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got me sold. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. I already know what this is.
The eponymous third studio album of Social Distortion. I came to this album, kind of a funny story, and I'll tell it because you asked. I was walking home from
I did.
somewhere, and a friend of mine who will remain nameless, his name rhymes with Thuck Toon. Him and I he's a member of the QC Music Lovers, Collectors and Traders.
No, he's a member of the QC Lovers, Collectors, Traders, Music Lovers.
Right.
Just since we're switching things around now, right?
Lovers Music.
Lovers
something-
and Quad Cities.
Don't confuse our audience.
Anyways,
So anyway, we had just consumed some psychedelic things, and he's like, "Well, you got to check this out," and played this album for me. It's called the Blue Album. It's called lots of different things, but it was like nothing I'd heard before. It had the tastes of country and rockabilly and rock and punk and all of these other elements all rolled into one. And from the first track of this album to the last track, it's so far above par. I can't believe that it's only sold 250,000 copies, 260,000 copies to date. I think I bought about 10,000 of those myself. So, because this is one of those albums, when you burn it up, it's like Purple Rain. When you burn it up, you get a new one.
100%.
Every time. I've got almost all of the songs from this on my phone. I listen to it on the way down here from my house. It's just, without a doubt. And, it's funny because you look at the album cover, and this album cover started controversy when it came out in 1990. Some people, it says right here, the album's controversy, the three-piece art features Al Capone with a Tommy gun. The second is an empty beer bottle in a drunk woman's hand, and the third one's Marilyn Monroe putting on stockings. There were some places that wouldn't sell this. I'm not going to mention any names, but it rhymes with Small Smart. They wouldn't sell it, and or you had to cover the and you look at it now, and look at some of the stuff that's out there now, and you're like, this is completely, totally tamed by the standards of what's going on nowadays.
That album has Ball and Chain on it, right? Yeah. And that was probably the best song on that album. Maybe you disagree with me on that.
I do.
I saw that live.
Ball and Chain is a great song, but Ball and Chain is like as far as I'm concerned, it's like the one that I'll even skip that sometimes when I'm listening to this.
Because you heard it so many
Because
times.
I've heard it 1,000 times, a million times, But songs like Drug Train and their cover of Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire.
That is a good album. Yeah.
The thing about Story of My Life is there's a line.
Story of My Life, that's right.
This is my favorite song in the album. There's a line in that album that I attribute to my current relationship, and that's why it's another reason why this is as important to me as it is, because he says the silly schoolboy crush wasn't just pretend, and it means something to me because I met my current girlfriend when we were in high school. And it was one of those silly schoolboy crushes that was more than just bullshit, But that being said, she's a knockout. I mean, every one of these songs stands on its own. You could play any one of these songs as a single, and they would all make you money. They only released Ring of Fire, Story of My Life, Ball and Chain, and Let It Be Me. Those were the singles off the album.
I think the first time I had heard them, weren't they on the soundtrack for Heavyweights, that Disney movie, the Fat Kid Camp?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think because in the beginning, when school's out, they don't play School's Out for Summer. I think they play Story of My Life when he's running home.
Dude,
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that was the first time I had heard that, and then I was like, oh, this is
I love that
deep. It was when I was young, and like my parents were like, don't go to Co-op or what was that store that was on the avenue where the Long John Silver's was near?
Oh yeah, it was brief. I can't even remember the name of this.
It was like an alt store or whatever. But yeah, my dad took me there once, and my mom got all pissy, blah blah blah, whatever.
It's
Well,
so
anyways.
funny, you know. It's so funny listening to people talk about. My parents said, don't go to these places. My dad was like, don't get arrested.
Right.
Do whatever you want, just don't get arrested.
The old man was like, just don't get caught. Okay, because I know better than to say, don't do this because you're gonna go do it.
Yeah, I know.
Back to the Social Distortion thing, I thought myself my favorite Distortion album was the White Heat album because that featured Chuck Biscuits on drums, and that's the reason why I kind of gravitated to that because I'm a Chuck Biscuits fan.
Right.
But that being said, Blue album, great album too.
Oh yeah, it's a knockout. I mean, there's no denying it.
She's a knockout. Track number 8.
It's a classic.
It's definitely one of those ones. This last record store day, I tried to get over to Ragged Records to get the copy of the Blue album, special limited edition vinyl. It was re-released on blue vinyl.
Oh, cool.
And so I was trying it so hard. Yeah, like I'm gonna get fuck. Like I'm gonna get in trouble. I tried so hard to get over there. I had something going on. I don't remember. So I was not in town for that, so I missed it. But
This is the last one.
the last record store day, yeah. So
That's right.
and I have to sell. We'll have to sell Quake in order for me to get it now. So he's a hard worker.
If anybody wants to buy them, just
Yeah, anybody wants to buy
page.
Jake Quake Turner, let me know.
Or just get on the Quad City Music,
Music
Lovers
Lovers Collectors and Traders
page.
website, and we'll sell them to you.
Yeah.
Pretty cheap.
Well, awesome album. One of those
Legendary
ones.
album.
Yeah,
Legendary.
yeah,
Yeah,
we consider it
by
up there.
far.
And a lot of people don't realize it, but it really is. So, Nez,
What you
exciting one.
Well, no, not necessarily exciting one, but a couple of podcasts ago, I did the Michael Menn project with Joe Lynn Turner and Glenn Hughes, and that was basically the bastard child of the HCP Hughes Turner project, and it came out in 2002, and it was during a failed attempt when Glenn Hughes and Joe Lynn Turner were trying to join forces in the 80s to write an album, but scheduling, whatever. Joe Lynn Turner was in Rainbow. He was out of Rainbow. He was trying to do a solo project. He was not in a solo project. Glenn Hughes was in Black Sabbath. He was out of Black Sabbath. He was in drug rehab. He was out of drug rehab. He's back in drug rehab, and that's how it went.
So another incestual project.
Yeah.
Wilkins.
Well, and the thing about it is that with Joe Lynn Turner and Glenn Hughes, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, or if you're not big listeners of their music, they're just as funky as they are hard and heavy. And I don't know if you would agree with that or not.
I think that was sometimes the kiss of death for these guys because people who weren't fans of them, who expected them to sound like, expected them to sound like the
Rock that they
Rainbow,
were
or
putting
expected
out,
them to
yeah.
sound, and it wasn't that.
Right.
So,
right. And that's, I think, what you and I have had our disagreements on Deep Purple about is that when Glenn Hughes came into Deep Purple and David Coverdale came in, they brought a funk R&B type groove to it, which I gravitated more so than some of the Deep Purple purists did. So, but anyway, back to this album.
It's like eating vanilla ice cream, though. You can't have it just vanilla ice cream. And
This was like a vanilla chocolate strawberry swirl all in one, with these guys. So back to what I'm trying to say, or trying to give here is during this album, J.J. Marsh, acclaimed studio guitarist, was a main contributor in the writing of the tracks of this stuff, and the cast went from Shane Gallus on drums and Vincent DiCola on keyboards, and the guest musicians on this album were John Sykes from Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake, and Paul Gilbert from Racers X and Mr. Big.
John Sykes was in Blue Murder, too.
He was in Blue Murder.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, he was. He was the singer and lead guitar player in the Power Trio of them. one of my favorite bands.
Oh, God,
yeah.
yeah.
Then the thing was is that what people don't really realize with John Sykes is that people don't really realize what Blue Murder was. So it gets overlooked as his time in Whitesnake and Thin Lizzy, because that's what kind of set his bar. Blue Murder came out with 2 LPs, studio LPs, and a whole lot of bootlegs, live stuff that I own. But anyway, that being said,
What don't you?
I don't. I've blown a lot of money on a library of stuff. But anyway, and the Japanese guitar player Akira Kachiyama, and he was in EZO or was he in Loudness? I don't remember which.
Loudness, wasn't it?
I can't remember which. So anyway,
Thank you, Gene Simmons.
yeah, thank you, Gene Simmons. So yeah, the lawyer's coming after you.
Sticker.
Yeah.
I won't get a sticker. I'll get a summons.
So on these albums, on the HTP album, and there was HTP 2, and then the Michael Menn project is most songs feature both vocalists on each song. They each of them have solos in their own way, and that being said, then they contribute to one full solo project for themselves on one song on each album. That being said, and Victor's having a hard time over here, so I don't know.
My lemon, it was delicious.
And that going into that is that it was on 2 labels. It was on MTM Music in Europe label, and it was also in Pony Canyon in Japan. And the Japanese version has one more track on it called Against the Wall, and the track is 4 minutes longer. So the European version of it, this album was released in Europe for 61 minutes. The Japanese version was released in 65 minutes in length.
So when it was released under 2 labels, one was the Japanese, one was the European.
Yep.
Okay. So when they essentially came out with both of these, I mean, was there like reissues, re-releases later on down?
No.
Or
All this stuff is out. All this stuff is out of print.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything that from the Hughes Turner project is out of print.
I just noticed that the Blue album also had a Japanese bonus track. Shirley Womack, It's All Over Now.
Yep.
Which,
You know, Japan gets some pretty stellar releases that are.
Well, they get those bonus tracks because, and the reason I know this is because of Def Leppard, actually. I was listening to one of their unplugs and actually explained it, because the economy is so terrible over there is that it's cheaper for them to import bring in, like, buy CDs from our side of the country.
Yeah.
It's cheaper for them to buy them over here and ship them to their house or whatever than it would be for them to buy in their own country. So they have to give them bonus tracks for them to want to buy over there.
Gotcha.
And the funny thing is, then you get collectors like us who end up buying the ones from Japan because they had the 2 bonus songs or whatever on them and
Yeah.
shipping them back over here anyway.
And the funny thing about it is, for collectors, is that you buy a Japanese release, like for instance the HTP project. You get it, and you get an OBI card, the Japanese OBI card in it, and it's been printed here in America.
Right. Even the Josh Todd disc had 2 bonus songs called Collide, and one other one's called Catastrophe. Both rockin' tunes.
the funniest thing was they would be like, "Oh, I reckon Collide."
Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, back to this album is the HTP the debut album here is much weaker than the HTP 2 album and the Michael Menn project. So this actual release musically is the weakest of the 3.
Okay.
So is this one that you own?
I own it.
You own it. All right.
I only own one copy of it, Matt. One copy.
I
That's
should
all
have
I got.
asked.
He's like, "I got 14 copies of the same album."
You probably do. How many
It's all the
copies
same
of DD Ramon do you have?
I have one original copy and one burnt copy
There you go.
What?
of the DD King album.
Yeah.
DD
Trash. Holy shit, I love it.
And he's happy to admit that he owns.
I mean, there's this thing, as collectors, and I don't know if I'm the only hardcore collector out of all of us, is that there's this,
Music, yes.
as far as things to have, like you guys all are aware of that I'm a big fan of the Black Sabbath IRS years. I've said this over and over again, but it's out of print stuff. You can't find it. So if you can ever find Black Sabbath IRS stuff, keep a hold of it because it holds a lot of value. So Black Sabbath, Forbidden, Tear, Headless Cross, and Cross Purposes all are beyond out of print, and I own 4 copies apiece of every single one of them, just because of the value of them. So.
Well, you've seen his collection, and it continues to grow all the time. So, well, good one, guys. Always interested in listening to stuff. Nez, I think we had talked about you started a project when we first started actually hanging out and doing stuff. And I did look them up, and good stuff. So I mean, I encourage everybody to get out there and at least listen to some of these that we talk about, if anything, or even this special edition right now.
You don't want to listen to that.
That music is brought to you by the West End of Rock Island.
Yes, Fetty Wap. Anyways,
Oh my god, that was the ugliest fucking taxi cab I
it
think I've
was
ever seen.
ridiculous. So, anyways, great show, guys, and again, it's with all of us working together, with Jeff putting it out, with Nez getting out there, getting the word out, and so many people have already contributed to this in some way or another. Wilkins, Turner, I didn't do much. I just provide the phone, and I'm just here, and I try to talk as.
But
the least amount as possible.
the engineering genius over there.
We do. That's what I'm saying. Jeff is the man that essentially could say, no, it's not going up. But he loves what he does. So go check us all out on Facebook. Yeah. Make sure you're checking out the group, Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders. You guys make sure you're hitting up Mark Reedy, the Pool Man, for all your above and in-ground pool needs. Give them a call. We'll put all the pictures up. Make sure you guys go to Next Level Fitness. Check them out. We're looking forward to doing a few things with them. Ragged Records, of course. I'm happy to have you guys on board. New and used record store. They also got turntables down there for sale. All kinds of great stuff. Very big help when it comes to new record store days. So check them out. They're right off of the Arsenal Bridge in Davenport. And again, thank you to Ribco and the new partnership that we have with them. Don't forget, you guys got to like our page and keep paying attention. We got free tickets to give out for July 24th. The July 24th show.
Jack Russell's Great White.
Yep. So make sure you guys are tuning in. I mean, we'd be happy to even give you guys the mention if you say, hey, you got any left, or say, hey, maybe they're all yours. So. We'll see, man. Just get out there. Make sure you're checking out Ribco. Make sure you guys are checking out. We're close to 200 likes on the podcast page.
I'm already giving away some stuff.
We might be giving away a shirt to the 200th person. We'll see what happens. Make sure you guys are paying attention because that's how you know about all this stuff, right?
And we're up to almost 520 members on the Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders.
Thank you. So anyways, and make sure you guys check out Legends Corner right here in
The beautiful Rock Island.
Heart of Rock Island, 3008 7th Avenue, Rock Island, man. It's a really nice tiki bar.
Yeah.
Their stuff is available for parties, inside-out seating for eating. Remember, July 17th, they're going to be serving breakfast on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So make sure you come out to that. Kenny Anderson will be here, former Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, on October 2nd. That's a Friday. And along with their 20-plus beers selection. So make sure you check out on draft. Yep. So make sure you check out Legends Corner. But again, this is all made possible with you guys. Thanks to everybody that's getting on board with us now. Hey, we just like to sit here and talk bullshit around about music. So make sure you guys join us sometime. I mean, we're friendly guys, I think, for the most part.
Except for Matt Wilkins.
Wilkins is making a face, so he might not be. So sit down. Anyways, so again, thank you guys for listening. Be on the lookout. When is our July 16th? Next week. Next Thursday, we will be at Bent River, and our special guest, John Carmichael, John Drizzy. I call him Drizzy, but we'll get into that, and I'll explain that when he's on the show. He's the host, or he's the DJ down at the Broken Saddle. Hey, we are Quad City Music Lovers, so we have to kind of show love to a lot of the people around. So make sure you guys tune in next week, and thanks for liking everything. I already got one for you that we'll talk about later. But anyways, thanks for listening. Peace. What do you got? Any words, Nez?
Yes. Go see the Melvins tomorrow night, July 10th. Rock Island Brewing Company. Get down there, get your ticket, support Quad City music.
Oh, well, hold on a second. It might be the Melvins was awesome. It was an amazing. Oh, wait a second. We almost went the whole show. We did go the whole show without using that word, so I bet you're proud of us. So yes, the Melvins. Check out
Almost said it
Ripco.
right.
I'm training you bitches.
Yeah, there you go. So make sure you guys check that all out. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Have a good night.